I have said before that you can't have a civilization that doesn't have art. When we think about the great civilizations historically, all of them had great production of culture and art because a society has to be able to observe itself. And the sophistication of the great civilizations were their ability to look at themselves and what allows a society to do that. Are the producers of art and culture mirror back to the core of the society? Exactly what is being produced at that moment, how people are thinking of themselves, and how individuals are relating to the social structure at that time. Art is the vehicle through which we understand that. Were you to take away art, what would be that mirror? How would we see what we are about? How would we understand what was going on in Paris at the time of the Impressionists when people were learning to see in a completely different way? Pre cinematography appears. All of these things are just emerging, and here are people looking at the world in a very different way, which was considered so radical at the time. All of my research, and that I conducted with my 60 plus graduate students, was motivated by their need to learn so that we can teach. Of course, some inventions happened along the way, but I've always considered the end, the result, and I always consider these inventions to be byproducts of the learning process. The end product for me was always better understanding, or when one really succeeded in unifying theory that can help us in teaching the subject. I've also looked at teaching as a vehicle to try new ideas or new ways to do things for an intelligent group of learners. That is, as the vehicle for the teaching research results. And in my experience, this kind of teaching is the most stimulating and motivating to students. I've also uncovered many interesting research problems in the course of teaching assumption. It is this unity of research and teaching, their close connection, and the benefits garnered by exercising and the interplay that to me characterizes the successful professor. Today, we will discuss the relationship between the fault lines in the Earth's crust and an earthquake. This dislocation of the rock occurs from the Earth's surface, 7 kilometers to several hundred kilometers vertically down to the crust. The earthquake's focus is called epicenter, which is vertically beneath the interior of the Earth's crust, and the energy releases and transfers through epicenter. The faults are the fracture on the Earth's crust. The position of the epicenters can be identified by the fault's maps, looking down from the center of the Earth. It will result in a seismic wave, which decreases as it moves away from the epicenter. To someone first encountering the works of William Shakespeare, the language may seem strange, but there is a secret to appreciating it. Although he was famous for his plays, Shakespeare was first and foremost a poet. One of the most important things in Shakespeare's language is his use of stress. Not that kind of stress, but the way we emphasize certain syllables in words more than others. We're so used to doing this that we may not notice it at first. But if you say the words slowly, you can easily identify them. Poets are very aware of these stresses, having long experimented with the number and order of stressed and unstressed syllables and combine them in different ways to create rhythm in their poems. Like songwriters, poets often express their ideas through a recognizable repetition of these rhythms or poetic meter. Shakespeare's favorite meter in particular was iambic pentameter, where each line of force is made up of 5 two-syllable items for a total of 10 syllables, and it's used for many of Shakespeare's most famous sonnets. Why did Shakespeare choose iambic pentameter for these moments? It's been said that iambic pentameter was easy for his actors to memorize and for the audience to understand because it's naturally suited to the English language. But there might be another reason. Shakespeare's most poetic lines don't just talk about matters of the heart, they follow its rhythm. I marveled at how often powerful people feel powerless, but in the face of this sense of disempowerment, there's no decline in involvement in organizations which seek to share wealth and opportunities. We seek to protect one another's rights and work towards the common good. According to the UN, civil society groups have grown 40-fold since the turn of last century. Since the turn of, last century. Internationally, the nonprofit sector is worth $1 trillion, and there are 700,000 non-profitable organizations in Australia alone. UN recognizes 37,000 specifically civil society organizations across the globe, working international relief, and gives accreditation to many of them. This profound movement towards harnessing voices and resources from outside the realm of governments and officialdom reflects a growth in trust. The third sector, NGOs. Putnam discovered in the field of local government in Italy, the best predictor of governmental success was the strength and density of a region's civic associations.
If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more PTE-related content. Don't forget to leave a comment below letting me know what you think, or if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. I will meet you soon at our next video.